Hi everyone, how are you all? Can you hear me? I hope I'm audible, right? Okay. So, how are you all doing? I hope you enjoyed this test. So, we made this test very carefully and we made sure that this test is going to be as per the gate level. We should not put too much of hard question, and at the same time, there should not be too much of easy question. So whatever questions that we have put is basically up to the gate level. So let me know what you felt about the subjects that overall test. I think you particularly told in some other video when Deepak has asked about the feedback. So if you can quickly tell me what you felt about the subjects these subjects which is C, DS, Algo, OS, CN, compiler, engine mathematics. Do you think questions were too much of tricky? So I am going to solve questions from these subjects in this session. I mean some handpicked and tricky questions. So if you have any doubt in those questions, you can definitely let me know. But at the same time, I will definitely like to know your feedback that how you felt in these subjects, right? I mean, when you attempted C programming question, when you attempted data structures questions, and when you attempted these questions, so how you felt? Do you felt that these questions are too much tricky, or do you felt this is as per the gate level? Let me quickly know. So hello Akash. Okay, so let's just start solving some questions. Maybe you will get more idea whether those are tricky or not, right? Or whether those were too hard or too easy. That you will get to know by yourself. So let's just start with these subjects. So I'm going to solve some of the handpicked question in which in that mean I'm not going to solve all of these questions because I just want to take some short session. And if you have any doubt in any of the question, then definitely you can comment on the GATEOverflow. So all the questions have been answered, but there are some questions which I think that we should be discussing in the live session. So that's why I'm taking those in the live session, right? Okay. So let's just start with the subject which is CDS and all of these subjects. Let's just start with this question. This question was of just I think 1 mark, and this was very easy and nice question. Let's just see what this question is saying. They are saying there is one struct S and which is having two integer x, y. Now, as you can see, there is struct S array 20. Then what does this mean? It means that let me just tell you that what it will do. Okay. So just understand this very step by step that what it is going to do in the memory. So in the memory, if you when the moment you write this in the memory, there will be an array of size 20, right? So which means there will be an array of size 20 in the memory. I'm talking about this in the memory, and the size of this array is basically 20, right? Now you have this array of type what? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone quickly tell me exact type of this array? So the array name is SARR, which is having size 20, which means that from 0 to 19, right? From 0 to 19. Now can anyone tell me the exact type of SARR? If anyone can tell me, then I will be really happy. Yes, I will be. Yes, Manoj, I will be solving the TLB question definitely. So nobody. I mean, the username is nobody. So nobody. Nobody means the username itself is nobody. So I cannot help with this. So nobody is asking that, sir, how many marks are good in this test? I think I don't want to make you happy by saying some less marks, and at the same time I will not tell you some high marks. I will say that according to me, okay, I mean I will tell you honest thing. According to me, I think that 50 plus should make sure that you are into top 500. But it doesn't mean that if you are not scoring 50 plus, then you are not into top 500. So it is just one way of implication. Okay. So one way of implication means that if you are scoring, so in this particular test, I say that if you are scoring 50 plus, then even you will be in top 300 most probably. Okay. I mean, let me just write to be on safe side, and let's be very much practical. Let me write top 350 or maybe top 400. And if you are getting 50 plus, it is not by way implication, which means it doesn't mean that if you are not getting 50 plus, then you cannot be in top 5 top 400. But it is just one indication. Okay, it is just showing one indication. That's what I can say. Indication that you should be in top 400. But anything can happen obviously in the real gate. We tried our best to make this paper as good as real gate. I mean, there the questions are not too much hard, neither they are too much easy, right? I mean, the questions are up to the mark, and some questions are obviously a bit tricky, and that's what we did in this particular exam. Okay, coming to this question, what is the exact type? What do you think? What is the exact type? So stock is saying S type. Is this the S type? Tell me quickly. Yes, right. So this is basically struct S type. So the type of this is struct S. Struct S is the type of this. Now, if you ask me that what does this mean, struct S is the type of this, it means that every element is struct S type. And what is this struct S? Struct S is basically having I mean, it is an struct which is having two integers. So here, every element is struct S type, struct S, and which is having two integers, which is x and y, right? X y like that. I mean, there are two integers in every struct. So this is the layout on the memory. Now what they are saying is that they want to access this srr 10 dot x, right? Srr 10 dot x. What does this mean? They are going to the 10th or 11th array. I mean, if you start from indexing from 0, then it will be it will be I mean, this 10 number will be actually 11th array, but anyway, like they are going to this srr 10 and then they are accessing this element which is x. Now what they are saying is that what could be the other way to access this particular element. So let's just quickly explore all of the option, and then we will also see I mean, if there is some other way rather than seeing the options, right? Okay. So first option is saying SRR plus 10 and then arrow operator X. What does this mean? Can anyone tell me what does SRR plus 10 will do? See, SRR is basically one array address. If you do plus 10, then what does this mean? See, SRR is some array, and then if you do plus 10, if you do plus 10 in the array, then you will definitely reach to this, which means that you will definitely reach to this 10th element. And then since it is a struct type pointer also, right? I mean, this SRR is one array name, and if you just write the array name, it means it is a pointer, and pointer to what? Struct type pointer. So which means you can definitely use the arrow operator, because this is a struct type pointer, right? And then if you use the arrow operator, you can definitely talk about this X. See, whenever you write int a 10, then what does this mean? Can anyone tell me quickly? It means that you have an array of 10 integers, right? Or maybe let me write 20. You have an array of 20 integers, and then if you write a plus 10, then what does this mean? You are talking about, this is a pointer to the element which is 10th or 11th, does not matter, but the index is 10, right? So from, if you start from 0, it is index is 10 here, so you will say it is 11th. So basically you are a plus 10 is basically a pointer to this element, right? Now, if you do the star in this, then you can even go the inside. So that's okay. I mean, if you do star or not, but a plus 10 is a pointer to this. Now, similarly, this SRR plus 10 is a pointer to this particular struct, right? If you remember from the linked list, then we are very much used to of doing node next, right? Something like this. What is this node? Node is a struct type pointer. If it is a struct type pointer, which is SRR plus 10, then you can definitely use arrow operator, right? So arrow X is definitely fine to access this particular element. So that's why A is the correct option. But since it is MSQ question, it was the MSQ question. So let's just see if the other options are also correct, right? So let's just explore other options. This option is saying address of SRR plus 10 dot X. What does this mean? Address of SRR, which means that if you write address of some array and then plus 1 will actually skip the entire array. So SR address of SRR plus 10 will skip just 10 arrays, not just not just one element. So basically it is just one array which is having 20 elements, and just imagine one more array side by side which is also having 20 elements. Imagine one more array side by side which is also having 20 elements, right? Similarly, if this is SRR, then address of SRR is actually numerically both the values are same, but SRR plus 1 will just skip one element. This is SRR plus 1, and address of SRR plus 1 will skip one array itself. So this is address of SRR plus 1, right? This is address of SRR plus 1. So if you do address of SRR plus 10, then it will skip 10 arrays, which is obviously, I mean, not a desirable thing. I mean, you just want to be within this array. So that's why B is not the correct answer, definitely. And then let's just see this C. They are saying SRR plus 10, and then they're multiplying with some size. That's what we don't want, right? We just want SRR plus 10, and then we want the arrow operator X. That's fine. Or maybe you can also represent like this: SRR plus 10. Since it's a pointer, then either you use the arrow operator directly, or you can dereference using star, and then you can use the dot X, right? This is also fine, or the arrow operator is also fine. Now in the C option, we are trying to do the same thing, but if this is not there, then C option is correct. Now the C option is not correct. What about D option? So what about D option? D option is saying that you convert that SRR to the character pointer, which means now if you, I mean, there is a typecast, and if you do, let me just try doing it. So if you just typecast that to a character pointer, and then if you do plus 10, then let's just see what's going to happen, or whatever you do, I mean plus something, right? Then see, now earlier it was a pointer to one struct, right? I mean this is array name and it is a pointer to first element. The first element is a struct, so that's why it is a pointer to one struct. But now it is a pointer to character pointer, right? Now interestingly, if you do plus one here, can anyone tell me what's going to happen? If you tell me, then I will be very proud of you. If you tell me like if you do plus one, then what's going to happen? See, this is one struct which is having, let's suppose this integer of 4 bytes, so this is 8 bytes, right? I mean there is one struct. Let me just tell you what is there in the memory byte by byte. See, if you understand byte by byte, that's what we have done in our C programming course, then you can easily solve this question. See, this is, let's suppose, 1 byte, right? And let's suppose these are the 8 bytes, I mean these are the 4 bytes, 4 bytes, and then you have 4 more bytes, these are the 4 bytes, and then let's suppose these are the 4 more bytes, these are the 4 more bytes, and then there we store two integers, right? I mean this is stored by x is here and y is here, suppose. Okay, x is here and y is here. So this is your first element, isn't it? This is what you are doing for all the elements, like you store x and then you store y. That's what you are actually doing, right? You store x, you store y, you store x, you store y, and that's span across the 8 bytes. Let's suppose the integer is of 4 bytes. Okay, so now let's just see that that if you just point here, which is SRR is basically pointing to the first element, and then if you do char star, then what does this mean? It is a character type pointer. Now if you do plus one, it will just move one character, one byte only, right? Plus one means it will just move one byte. Now if you do what they are doing in the C option, they are doing plus 10 into size of struct text. Let's suppose integer of 4 bytes, so size of struct text basically, I mean it will skip 10, I mean 10 into 4, right? 10 into 4, 40. Sorry, I'm at this option, so it will skip 40 bytes. So basically it will skip 10 struct size things, right? So which means it will basically skip 40 bytes. So which means this is the 8 bytes, right? So this is 10 into size of struct text, and this is basically 8. Okay, this is not 40, this is 80. This is 80. Let me know if you have understood, if you are going to understand these things, or there is some difficulty in understanding. Okay, so I hope you understood, right? Great. Now, since this is 80, it means that you are basically going to skip 10 of this struct, right? Because this is character pointer, so whatever you add here, it is actually I mean you are not going to do any other manipulation, which means you are directly going to skip 80 bytes, or maybe the 10 of this struct, which is fine, right? I mean you actually want to skip 10 of the struct, so you will be basically reaching to the 11th struct, which is the desirable one. So now you are currently pointing here, right? And it is a desired struct. I mean that's where you want this x, right? Now this x is sitting here and you want to access this x. So you have something like this. Now you have something like this, which is char star SRR plus 10 into size of struct s, right? Something like this, right? Suppose you have something like this. Now, which is pointing here. Now the thing here is that, I mean you are at the correct location, I am not denying this, but this is a character type pointer ultimately, right? This is still a character type pointer. So you cannot, in the option we are using arrow operator here, right? But the thing is that you cannot use arrow operator here. See, you can, because this is a character type pointer, and let me just copy this option. Option D is actually using the arrow operator, which you can't actually do, right? So if you look at this option D, then it is actually using the arrow operator, which you can't do. So that is why what will I say, that this whole thing is just a character pointer, and then in this character pointer you cannot use the arrow operator. So that's why this arrow operator is wrong. You cannot use the arrow operator. I mean you are at this address, that's very nice, but if you want to actually use I mean if you want to actually access this x, then what you need to do? See, there is some memory location right? There is some memory location. I know the address of this memory location where the x is stored, but I know this through the character pointer. Okay, there is some character pointer, let's suppose p, and p is pointing to this, and I want to access this x. So what will I do? There are many methods, right? Can you tell me one of the method? What you can do, you can immediately typecast this t to integer. Maybe this is a one of the option, and then you can say, let me just first typecast it to the integer pointer, and then I need to dereference it. This is the perfectly valid option. I mean, this will give you the x. I mean, this is same as x, isn't it? See, if a character pointer, let's forget about the question, okay? I mean, we will talk about the question in just a second, but let's forget about the question for now. What I'm saying is that if this is just a character pointer, which is pointing to any memory location where some integer is stored, okay? If the character is stored, you do star p, no problem, okay? It will give you the character. It is just a character. It will just fetch one byte, okay? It will not fetch 4 bytes. It will just fetch one byte from here, okay? One byte from here. If you do star p, that's not a problem, but it will just give you one character, which means one byte. But in fact, you want one integer. So what you need to do, you just need to typecast it to integer. That's one of the option. Then you will get x. This is just one of the option. Are there other options? Can anyone tell me other option? Let's suppose that I declare one struct something like this. Can anyone tell me other option? The other option is that what you can do, this struct time is also x, right? So what you can do, I mean, this is also having two integers x and y, and you want to just access the first integer. So this is, let's suppose this is the first option, okay? The second option could be this p is a character type pointer. You convert that to struct type pointer, which means you just say this is struct s star. I mean, you convert that to struct type pointer, and then now it is a struct type pointer. Now there are obviously a couple of options. Now you can do like this, or maybe if this is a struct type pointer, let's suppose this one struct as star p. Since it's a struct type pointer, what you can do, you can dereference this using star, and then you can basically, this is just one struct, then you can use dot x. I mean, this arrow operator is just a shorthand, right? So basically this d option is wrong because that's the character type pointer which is pointing here, and you want to access some integer, so you cannot use the arrow operator. If you really want to use the arrow operator, you have to convert this whole thing to a struct type pointer, right? Struct s, and then you can use the arrow operator. This is one of the option. Or maybe if you just skip the using arrow operator, you can convert that to integer pointer definitely, and then dereference it. That is same as x. That's what you can learn from this question. Yes, Amit, that's very nice. So Amit is saying typecast to struct is one of the option, and then typecasting to the integer is just some other option. So that's why you can say this is the answer. Okay. I hope this question has been cleared very nicely. If there is still any doubt, you can definitely comment out. Tag me. To tag me, you need to do @SACHIN Sachin, and then plus MITTAL Mittal plus 1. Okay. You just do plus if there is some difficulty in the tagging. That's how the GATEOverflow website works. Okay. Let's move to the next question. This question I specifically put this question just to just to shake your some of the misconceptions. So let me just tell you that there is one misconception that I was expecting. I mean, the student might do some misconception problem in this question, and that's what also happened. And like I can see from one of the comment was saying that for the worst case we have to use only big O. Okay, big O. That's what one of the comment is saying. I mean, I'm not saying this. One of the comment is saying this. Now tell me, is this true? For the worst case, do you really always have to do big O? If you are from Go classes, then you must definitely be knowing that it is actually correct. I mean, correct or wrong. If you are not from Go classes, then you might know. I mean, I'm not sure from where you have studied, but that's not correct, right? See, what does this mean? What does you need to understand that there are three cases. What are those three cases? One is worst case, another one is best case, another one is average case. And there are three general notations, which is big O and big omega and theta, right? Now, what people think is that worst case means big O, best case means big omega, and average case means theta, right? That's what people think. But it is absolutely wrong. It is absolutely wrong. There is in fact no relation. Okay, there is no relation between this worst case and big O, best case and omega, average case and theta. In fact, you can represent any of the case using any of this symbol, right? I mean, this is absolutely wrong. In fact, you can represent any of the case. Okay, be it any case, you can represent this worst case with big omega, big O, and theta, right? Similarly, you can represent this best case using these three. Similarly, you can represent this average case using these three. So there is no relation actually, right? No relation between these symbols and okay. Just a second. Second.